inappropriate, certainly.
Okay. We've talked about the personality disorders. Are those two personality disorders, antisocial personality, borderline personality, are they considered a severe mental health disorder or disease?
No, they're not. They are in the DSM, but there is a large difference between a mental disease or defect that we think of in terms of like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or a delusional disorder or something like that. Those conditions occur for somebody and are not controllable. The person who has a delusional disorder about something like there's a satellite system that if I can just get into this building, the control panel is in there and I can control the satellite system and it turns back time. So I kill people to get into that center, but it's okay because I can turn back time and they'll come back to life. That's a real delusion that somebody had. An example, they don't have any control over believing that. They really believe it. Or like hearing auditory hallucinations. They have no control over those hallucinations necessarily. They just come on to them. Contrasted with character or personality disorders, this is a way of interacting with people that I can control. Now there's these pervasive pattern of behavior that goes, many years because it's a personality issue, but at any one moment it's something they can control. So it's a big difference between a mental disease or defect and personality disorders.
So a person with a mental health disorder, as you described, the hallucinations, the delusions, if a police officer is sitting next to them, does that make a difference to them?
That's a really good point. No, it doesn't. They still have the voices. They still have the delusion. It doesn't change their behavior in regard to that psychotic mental illness. As opposed to a personality disorder, the person may be in the plan of violating the rights of somebody else, but there's a police officer there, so I'm going to lay low and I'm just going to wait till the police officer goes by. Now I'm going to continue to violate the rights of others. That's an example. They can control it if they want to. If it serves their purpose, they can control it.
A person, as you described, with these two personality disorders, do they care about themselves or not?
No, I mean, if in their mind whatever it is that they're wanting to do serves themselves, then that's what it's all about. They care about themselves, but they don't care about the rights of other people. And if it will serve me having this disorder to steal your money, then I'm fine with that because you weren't smart enough to keep me from stealing it from you. See, I blame you, but I take the money. That's a personality disorder.
Okay, as an example of that, may we have clip D9, please?
Anything that I haven't asked you that you think is really important that you wish I'd asked you but I failed to do? Do you think would be really important for me to know?
Let me think. Why I chose Valentine's Day.
Okay. Why Valentine's Day?
Because I felt like no one loved me. And I didn't like Valentine's Day. I wanted to ruin it for everyone.
Okay, ruin it for everyone? You mean like the family members of the kids that were killed?
No. For school.
Oh, for the school.
Yeah.
So it's like an attack against Stoneman Douglas.
Basically, yes.
Stoneman Douglas, all right. Okay, yeah, I can see that, I guess, because it'd be kind of hard for them to have like a dance on Valentine's Day or something.
Yeah, basically.
Does the, in relation to other evidence that you reviewed, such as the cell phone videos and the social media, may have an opinion regarding that as it relates to antisocial personality and borderline personality disorder?
I think that sentiment he gave right there is a really good example of the blend between the borderline personality and the antisocial. Because I hurt and I feel bad about myself, I want everyone to hurt, and I want them to always hurt. That's pretty extreme and a pretty clear example of the antisocial characteristic being packaged in the borderline emotional. I'm not just going to hurt you because it serves me. I'm going to hurt you because I want you to hurt. And that's pretty intense.
Doctor, does FASD explain the detailed planning of the massacre by the defendant?
No.
Does FASD explain the animal abuse?
No.
Does FASD explain his racist desires to kill black people?
No.
Does FASD explain his hatred of women?
No.
Does FASD explain his searching for child pornography?
No.
Does FASD explain his desire to ruin Valentine's Day for the school and everyone associated with this massacre?
No, not at all.
Does FASD explain his continuing fascination with swastikas from before the shooting, during the shooting, and even in his jail cell?
No.
Does FASD explain the jail attack on Deputy Beltran where he tried to take his taser from him?
No.
Does FASD explain his hitting his own mother?
No.
Does FASD explain his fascination with fire setting?
No.
Does FASD explain the attempted murders of everyone he tried to kill inside the MSD building, the 1200 building?
No, not at all.
Does FASD explain the attempted murders of everyone he tried to kill that was outside the building when he was on the 3rd floor?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Gina?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Luke?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Martin?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Alex?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Carmen?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Helena?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Nick Dworet?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Elena?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Alyssa?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Christopher?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Aaron?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Scott?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Meadow?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Joaquin?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Jamie?
No.
Does FASD explain the murder of Peter?
No.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Your Honor, the state would offer into evidence State's Exhibit 26O. These are the clips.
Other than the previously raised objections, do you have any additional objections, Mr.
Just
Speaker?
review the objections and supplement to D336.
defense objection 26-0 will be received as 498. Okay, cross-examination?
Move quick sidebar, please.
Sure.